My name's Cody Jones. I've known Jack for about 15 years now, and I met him. I worked at Icon as a welder, and his wife was Gary Anderson's wife was my boss, and Gary says, "Hey, we need some masonry done." And so my first job for Jack was the Lawler home, doing the masonry rock on it, and ever since then we've had a pretty good relationship. I've had a lot of lows in my life, and Jack is about the only one that hasn't given up on me. I mean, he's seen me at my worst. I mean, I didn't pay rent for like a year. Instead of getting evicted, he let me come and do the rock on the office to, work my debt off. He's been a saving grace to me and my wife, and especially my kids, kept him, from being homeless, and he probably single-handedly kept me out of prison or dying. So, I mean, so when it comes to Jack, it's kind of a sensitive situation. He's like the dad I never had, and he's just a real good guy. I mean, our worlds are totally so different but yet he don't judge me. He don't look down on me. He don't, he trusts me like a son. And all I can do with him is just give him, one day at a time, and work hard for Jack. I owe Jack my life. Like I said, no matter what, if I need something, Jack's there for me. He always answers my calls. He calls me every day. I mean, sometimes that's good, I guess. I don't know. I don't have like no stories, man. I just want everybody to know that Jack saved my life. I mean, multiple times. I mean,
Hey Cody, how long have we been together?
about 15 years now. As long as my son's been alive.
Yeah, yeah. And you helped us on that Lawler house, I guess, didn't you?
Yeah.
Do the rock work on it.
Yeah, that was my first
How,
job.
how did we come to get together? How come?
You had Gary Anderson worked here, and his wife Joni was my boss at Icon, and she knew I hated being at Icon, and she knew I loved laying brick and rock, and so Gary's like, "Hey, Jack needs some masonry done," and so I was all over it.
Well, I remember I was so impressed with the way the one thing that stands out on that particular house is you said, "Hey, why don't we put an address in the rock work that I just laid?"
And then I went and etched it in there.
And you said, "I can do that." And I said, "I don't know where you get that kind of work done." You said, "You could do it." And you did it, and it turned out beautiful. We've had a long road together since that time.
A lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of ups, and a lot of downs.
I had a hard time knowing when you were going to show up because you'd show up in jail instead of on the job. But I always liked you, Cody. You had a good attitude about things. You were a hard worker. You did great work, and I appreciated the kind of person you were, and you were always honest with me in telling me where you'd been or why you got put in jail or what you'd done to get in trouble. And as I learned more about your life, I came to really love you. I came to really appreciate and consider you one of my family. And I remember real well, we finally got, you were renting from me, and you didn't pay the rent very well unless I gave you work to pay. And then we would take some of your wages and pay your rent.
Yeah, there were times he's like, "Do you have $20, Cody?" I was like, "Jack, can I borrow $20?
Yeah, and I remember you had a real good bishop there.
Mont Carlson.
Yep, Monty Carlson, that used to go visit you in jail on Sunday nights. He would tell me, he and I would talk about you, and I said, "Monty, guy that's worth saving. We need to do whatever we can to help him. And he just got this addiction that he can't stay on the wagon. And Monty, he's the best bishop I ever know that would take his own personal time, and Sunday nights he'd go to the jail.
Yeah.
And I think I'd given you a quad, a Book of Mormon, Bible. And I remember you telling me, I just love to read about Nephi, and I've got the best scriptures in the jail. He said. Anyway, then Christy kind of got interested in the church, and we got some lady missionaries going to visit her, and
It took 10 para-missionaries till we finally got the ladies in there.
and that worked.
That worked.
And she wanted to join the church, and I remember you coming to me and saying, Jack, Christy wants to get baptized, but she can't. And I said, how come? Why can't she? Well, because she needs to be married. We're not married. And I thought, and here he had 2 children, I thought you'd been married all those years. But
No.
you were together how many years before you?
8 years.
8 years before this
we got
happened.
married.
And I said, well, why haven't you got married? Well, never had enough money, you said. And I said, Cody, we can solve that problem. I can help you with the money. And anyway, we worked it out, and you were married in the
Yep.
bishop's office.
With my kids and you and Charlotte.
Yep. Charlotte and I were witnesses there. It was a wonderful experience, wasn't it?
It was. I look at that marriage license. It just means something to me. You know, Charlotte's not with us, and it's just cool. You know, I can say I got Jack's signature on my wedding license. You know, I mean, I don't know. Jack's he probably, like I said, single-handedly saved my life numerous times.
Well, you did it, not me. I didn't do anything for you. I was there for you when you needed help. And you were there for me when I needed something done. Well, you took care of, anytime I needed help, you would come.
You got Kleenexes?
Anyway, I can remember, finally, you went through drug court how many times?
I was the first person in the state of Utah to do it twice.
And you were. And I remember that when you graduated there, that what a neat experience it was, and how happy everybody was. But you failed it the first time.
Yep. This time's different because I'm working here. I got you here now. I ain't out. It seems like when I'm around and working with you, I do good. Like my life's good, and so I figure if I just don't ever leave here, then my life will stay good. I mean, it's just weird how one person can influence a life when, I mean, that's more powerful than my mom and Christy and my kids.
Well, that's
You know, I could never stay clean. I could never do them good, but for some reason you've always picked me up and always said yes to me and just held me accountable for my actions, and you never gave up on me, and that's, to me, that means a lot. You know, when you come in from some dark places that I've been, and no one, like your own wife, won't even answer the phone, but I can call Jack from the jail and he'll answer. And so,
well, it's nice of you to say. I don't think I was that important, but
no, you don't know it. Like our house, you're like I said, our saving grace. And even when we say our prayer at dinner time, you know, and we thank the Lord for everything, and then we always, every night, ask for you get a blessing. Because the impact you've done on my life, you know, with my kids, and even now with Harley and everything going on, and you're just there for me. It's like a big family here, and I love it.
Well, you're a part of the family, and we love you too. An important part of the family. You've got so many skills, Cody. And something that comes along, you say, I can do that.
Yeah.
And I say, have you ever done it before? No, but I can do it. And you do. You do a great job of it. And you'll take on anything, whether you keep on to learn and become better at what you're doing, and you really have done that. You're very skilled, and we need you. We need you here. You've been a great example to our other workers and other people that we've got here. You're always honest on your time, and you don't put up with any messing around. You don't take advantage of when you're just on your own. You put in a full day's work and then some.
But a lot of that comes from you too. I mean, I was almost beat in with a good work ethic, but you just helped me redefine it. I mean, you helped me just streamline stuff. I mean, because sometimes I get like all these projects going and all that, and I get confused, and then you call me every morning, and see, I like that in the morning, because like I look forward to 7:45 every morning. Yeah. And then sometimes, you know, at night, you know, if I go to bed at 8, but if you call before that, I'll answer. But
By the way, are you going to get those signs fixed on Baldwin or not?
yeah. See, I can't tell them no. That's the thing. That's how I learn so much, is I just don't tell them no.
Anyway, we're proud of you. And the thing I like about Cody, he's got a sweet spirit about him. Heavenly Father loves him. Loves his wife. Loves his children. He's still together. You don't have many friends that have stayed together as long as you and
No, I don't
Christy.
have. Both my son and daughter don't have not one friend. Their parents are still married. And then, you know, this is my 20th year with my wife. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive. But a lot of it has to do with you, Jack. You know, hey, Jack, we're fighting again, man. She kicked me out of the house. You know, he's just always somebody who listens. You know, don't matter what situation I'm in, I can call him.
Well, you can. I appreciate you trusting me enough to help. So.
Sometimes he's a little too honest, you know, but that's a good thing.
Okay, I appreciate that. That's a good compliment.